Wrestling fans, get ready. Mr. USA Tony Atlas returns not once but twice in the month of November for blockbuster Memories and Legends and holiday tapings. If you're in the Boston area, you can join us live in studio Saturday, November the 24th and Friday, November the 30th, all part of our 7th annual Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive campaign. Remember, admission to these tapings is absolutely free. However, at the same time, we can use all the support we can get from fans around the globe in making these great productions happen. We can't do it without you. Hundreds of thousands of fans from around the globe have enjoyed Memories and Legends, but without your help, we run the risk of having to go dark. Visit BostonWrestling.com and use the Indiegogo link below to help fund these expensive productions for fans to enjoy for decades to come, with some great prizes for donors. Right now, the Hall of Famer Tony Atlas tells you why it's so important for these Memories and Legends tapings to take place. I think if we're able to ever get to a certain point with the assistance of the fans, Tony, I'm sure you'd be happy to come down every week if we could make it happen.
Yes, I would. And first, I would like to thank you, Dan, and Boston Wrestling, because one thing that a lot of fans seem to forget, we ain't gonna be around forever. I mean, when I look back on guys that I sat and talked to just last year alone, I mean, just about every year we lose 2 or 3 wrestlers. Vader, yep. Ronnie Piper. You know, in 2010, I lost my best friend, S.D. Jones. So there's very few. Me and Brutus the Barber Beefcake were talking 2 weeks ago, and we're always so happy to see each other because there's very few of us is left. You know, it just seemed like yesterday that I was in Legend House, WWE Legend House, with Rotten and Ronnie Piper. And now Piper is not around anymore to tell his story. He's not around anymore to sign autographs. He's not around anymore to meet and greet the fan. So thanks to the good work of Boston Wrestling and Dan Morella here, you know, you're able to see, you know, us, you know, and it would not be possible. I mean, Tony Atlas would be probably forgotten about if it wasn't for Boston Wrestling.
I don't know if I'd go that far, Tony.
Well,
you're a two-time
you know,
Hall
out
of
of
Famer.
sight, out of mind. But,
right.
I mean, people are able to tune in to Boston Wrestling. They're able to hear some of the old stories that a lot of the guys, like some of the stories I tell, the rest of the day, they was babies. Just like Roma Rage. You know, his father and me,
you wrestled his father, yeah,
his Seeker, one of the Wild Samoan Seekers, was traveling up and down the road with us, and way before Roman Reigns was even born. You know, and like The Rock, you know, I used to sit in the dressing room and babysit Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, with me and his father. You know, we was on tour together. I remember he was a kid. But, you know, a lot of us, like me, Rock and Johnson, you know, we get up in age, so it makes us feel good that we could come to a program like this where people can hear about the way wrestling were back in our day. Kind of like if you get out here, the Rolling Stones to sit here to tell music fans how it was to travel in the days when the Rolling Stones first started their career and when they first did things. So it's a great history lesson of pro wrestling and athlete. So once again, thank you, Dan, and thank you, Boston Wrestling, for giving us the opportunity to tell our stories.
I appreciate that an awful lot, more than you know, Tony. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA Tony Atlas.
It took him a second.
Always does.
Before we get to this great full-length episode of Memories and Legends, check out some of our great friends you can help support the cause to keep more Memories and Legends coming your way. Infinity Key, a truly natural online language training experience. 25,000 minutes, that's what you'll need to invest. Invest 25,000 minutes with Infinity Key, and we'll build you a portfolio of language experiences designed to accelerate your personal progress. The coach will help you strike the right balance between passive acquisition and active application of your target language. InvestKey's algorithms and coaches guide you along the clearest, quickest path forward on your journey to fluency. Visit www.infinitykey.rocks for more information and follow Infinity Key on Facebook at facebook.com/InfinityKey.
Champion, the Brahma Bull, the Great One, this
Finally, The Rock has come back!
is his story. Journey alongside the millions in this definitive guide to
The most electrifying man in sports and entertainment!
See The Rock.
It's just a man!
Like you've never seen him before.
But The Rock is cooking!
The World of The Rock. Available now.
Wrestling fans, check out our friends at Performa's state-of-the-art WWE Superstar and Legends Shaker Cups. They're 100% leak-free and shatter-resistant, guaranteed. Mix your powder using Performa's patented action rod technology. Check out new Superstars just added to the collection at PerformaBrand.com. I've had one on my desk every day since testing it out. Select your favorite WWE shaker. You'll be using yours every day, too.
WWE invades Los Angeles for Survivor Series weekend with 3 massive events. First, it's NXT TakeOver War Games, featuring NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa, the Undisputed Era, and more. Then on the heels of Survivor Series, it's Monday Night Raw on November 19th with Ronda Rousey and Braun Strowman, followed by WWE SmackDown Live on November 20th, featuring AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Charlotte Flair, and many more. 3 nights of live television, all at the Staples Center. Combo and single event tickets are available.
Wrestling fans, check out the brand new lapel pin from our friends at Crimson Mask. Inspired by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, it's Bang 316. Only $8 each or 2 for $12. If you think it makes a great holiday gift, give me a hell yeah. Get yours today at crimsonmask.bigcartel.com.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Becky Lynch with a disarmer on Rousey!
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dan Marotti, joined by longtime MWF associate, Mr. Dave Cotter.
What's going on, everyone?
We're trying to change the rhythm here on Wrestling Insiders a little bit. We're going to have individual news segments produced and then one big program once the segments have ended. So right now, we're going to take a look at this week's Monday Night Raw and the aftermath coming out of it. What do we got?
Well, first we'll talk. The ratings were high. The ratings stayed high.
I wouldn't call them high.
No, but they stayed higher going into a go-home show. You know, it went from a 2.441 last week to a 2.446. Hey, it's an increase. It's better to gain than lose, right?
That's within the margin of error.
There we go, though. Hey, positive's positive. I'll take it.
No, I mean, it's better than it going down within the margin of error, right?
And we kicked off Raw thinking it was going to start off with a tag team battle royal, but Braun Strowman wasn't having any of it, so he came out and cleaned house. He is a monster. I love this character that he's playing. It's awesome. How awesome is it?
Good use of Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
They've shied away.
Just came out and blew everybody up. I loved it.
It was starting to go into sports entertainment nonsenseville with Braun. It was starting to him be jokes. Soon maybe he'd be doing a little dancing.
Right.
And then that would have castrated the man's effectiveness as a top babyface. But now he turned heel, and now he turned face again out of necessity with everything that's going on with Roman. And he's being used as the Braun that people started to really take to. Angry, mean, nasty. He doesn't need to be funny. He doesn't need to tell jokes. He doesn't need to sing. He doesn't need to dance. He doesn't need to dress up as an elf like they did with him last Christmas on YouTube. They just need to have him kick the hell out of people.
Right, and he did that. And then he set up a chair, sat in the middle of the ring. Stephanie came out, basically demanded he wants to give Baron Corbin these hands. Stephanie said, you can do whatever you want, but we need to get serious for this Survivor Series Sunday. Went back and forth a little bit. Baron came out, basically try to egg him on a little bit, but didn't do anything. I mean, how did you feel about the whole segment?
It was a good segment. It made you want to see the match between Strowman and Corbin, because usually this match happens next. So there's no build-up. There's no anticipation to see it. They just give it to you when you want it. And that's why The matches are so forgettable on Raw. It's a reason why the ratings are down. There's no reason to tune in week to week because everything you need to see happens in that one package. Episodic television that they like to push usually flows from episode to episode. I applaud them for doing the Strowman-Corbin payoff. Not this week.
Right, and he basically said, he made some demands. She said they'll be all set. Everything will happen, you know, as long as you prepare and make sure Survivor Series first. And then I rolled right into Ronda coming out. She snatched the mic out of Stephanie's hand, you know, says she can't wait to battle Becky the Survivor Series, all that stuff. And basically, you know, what did you think? You like how they rolled that into one whole thing, or do you think they should have two separates? I know how you feel about the whole.
I would have liked individual segments, to be honest. I really didn't need to see her get in the ring with that grouping. It just didn't make a heck of a lot of sense. The promo itself was fine.
I did like how she attacked Corbin. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was great.
Castrate
him. Yeah. And hip toss him on a microphone where he could have, well.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was
You know, she probably honestly could kick his ass.
Probably.
You know? She's a bad woman. She is a bad woman. You know, you always talk about believable. That could have been.
Well, I wouldn't castrate too many male superstars that they think could be potential headliners for them to get over her hip toss.
All right.
There's a dozen other guys that could have taken that move.
Right, I know. I'm just saying. At least it was something. But anyways, we're moving on to probably the match of the night for you, Ember Moon versus Tamina with Naya Jackson in her corner.
That was a great one. Tamina looked exceptionally good.
Yeah, it was a decent match. Tamina
great ring attire.
Tamina had a great splash. She did a great splash to win the match. I don't know. What do you think of Tamina and Naya being a team now?
Bundy and Stud all over again.
There we go, baby.
1986 revisited.
Oh, God.
Luckily, Ember didn't receive an injury with Naya that would keep her out of action, like so many of the other females have, so I guess that was successful.
Yep.
Tamina's splash off the top rope certainly was not Jimmy-esque, as you could tell by the switch of the cameras as she began her not-so-giant leap off the top rope in her Sons of Anarchy gear, I guess you'd call it.
Oh,
accentuate the positives.
Yeah, there you go. Tamina won, like we said. Then we went to the Seth Rollins promo. He cut a promo. Then they showed Dean on the screen out back, sitting on a car with the trash can on fire. Reminded me of the old Raw as well, man, with the little trash can.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll
like
go
that.
there. I thought Ambrose was good in it with Rollins. I felt like it was the same thing.
And I don't like how he's talking now and basically just shooting on the crowd like they have no manners. You want me to tell you, like, why?
Who are you talking about?
Remember he got on the mic and he was saying the crowd, Dean got on the mic and was saying that the crowd has no manners, so he's not telling them, like, why he did it, this yell, that.
Well,
I just don't like
that.
Right, but I don't like it. I don't think he should be saying anything.
Well, someone needed to go heel.
Yeah, I guess so. Then he took the vest, put on the gasoline on it, and then put it in the trash can, lit on fire.
Yeah, I thought
that was kind of cool.
Ambrose was pretty good. I thought Rollins was just kind of going through the motions.
It was like Sonny Siaki, man, when he was in the Flying Elvises, took the Sonny Siaki, the Elvis costume, and threw it in the trash.
I missed that part.
Oh, you don't watch TNA back in 2002?
No.
All right, well, there you go. That's a reference. You know, just a little reference for you. Then we had another promo. Drew McIntyre came out. Finn came out. Basically, they talked about what happened last week. Both had good promos, at least. They were good promos.
And again, they made Finn look like a weakling. Don't you think if that really happened in real life, someone kicked you in the face the week before, would you want to come out the next time you saw them and talk on a microphone to them, or would you want to throw down with them?
Well, yeah, exactly. No, I know what you mean.
So I just kind of shrugged my shoulders, saying there are better ways to present Finn Balor, but the presentation of McIntyre continues to be good.
At least we didn't get the match, because they end up just having him face Dolph.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because you know, sometimes they just go right into a match like we were saying in the beginning. So at least that, and it was a great match. Dolph.
They had patience.
Yes. And Dolph is so good that it was a great match. I mean, both work good together, but obviously because they're both great workers. And Finn actually won the match, so it was good, you know. What did you think of the match? I mean, anything to say?
The match was fine. It's just up for both of them. Up again, down again. 500 players. And 500 players don't get over, which is a shame because I think Finn Balor is one of the best in the world. And, you know, Ziggler at one time I think had potential to be perhaps the top heel on one of the brands. Yeah. But now it's been so many years of him being a 500 player that the fans like to see him, but they're not going to believe in him. Right. If you don't believe in him, that's why these people don't get over. And that's problems why WWE is down in so many metrics, other than the actual revenue they're generating from their different business deals. As far as the important things like ticket sales, merchandising and television ratings, it's not exactly a good thing.
Yeah.
And this match is the reason why.
Right. Then we had another backstage promo with Ronda Rousey. It was very good. She did a great job hyping up the match and everything. And then they ended up having Tamina on one side, Naya on the other, basically looking at her. And what was your reference? Bundy and who?
Bundy and Stud. Yep.
Looking at her and just Naya tells Ronda, good luck, and I'll see you after Survivor Series. So, I mean, I don't know how you felt about it.
I honestly got goosebumps. So I was really looking forward to it.
So you didn't care about it?
Well, you know, when Ronda kind of looked at Naya, it kind of reminded me of Hogan and Andre before WrestleMania 3. It was, you know, I'm really looking forward to the forgettable match they'll have at TLC. If they don't send Naya back to NXT to the Performance Center to train.
Okay. Then we had another promo, Riot Squad. They came out to the ring. They did a little promo, talked about the glass and everything, how Ruby was saying, I'm not sorry for anything I did. She was trying to make it, and then she said she wasn't sorry for breaking the glass or anything like that. Says she enjoyed it. And Natty came up behind, attacked Ruby, but then the rest of the Riot Squad came in, beat the crap out of her.
Kind of reminded me of when...
And then, wait a minute, and then they hit her with the heart attack.
Kind of reminded... Kind of reminded me of when the NWO got together back in July of '96 in Daytona Beach. The Riot Squad certainly was riotous in this situation. Again, it's just, to me, and it's nothing against the girls, it's Halloween dress-up. There is nothing riotous about any of them. Maybe the look of the lead of the faction, but certainly not a lovely individual like Liv Morgan. And, you know, again, Sarah Logan, it's just the same thing. She looks like she's playing a role instead of being the role. And there's nothing effective about that to me. I think the angle with the sunglasses wasn't bad, but I think a Riot Squad should certainly do more.
Yeah, I get you, but maybe...
There is nothing about Riot Squad that makes me say, oh boy, I can't wait to see them up next. Like I said,
I like the story that they did the glass, but then just to pay it off like they did this week, it did nothing for me. I agree with you on that. And then we had the Tag Team Tournament Battle Royal finally. And it was a quick one. It was quick, too. That wasn't even long. And then your favorite two guys together, Gable and Rude, won. They're going to be the captains of the tag team for the Raw brand.
You talk about the definition of nobody cares. As soon as Bobby Roode's music ends, that is the definition. If you went on Wikipedia and typed in nobody cares, it would be the bell once a Bobby Roode match begins. And it's a shame because I don't see him as a top guy, but could he be an effective mid-card heel? Definitely, definitely. Maybe because he had so much great success in different tag teams over the years, they thought maybe this would be the fresh coat of paint he needs. No, because it makes Gable look like a small little kid trying to act like him.
I don't see no bear money happening in this tag team.
And, you know, Glorious isn't all that bad as a heel, but him doing it as kind of a geeky baby face going, Glory! Yeah. No, it does not work.
There's no bear money in this tag team, right? No.
And there's no money in this tag team. Let me tell you.
Bear money.
Forget about the beer.
Maybe they get James Storm. Money. Maybe you bring James Storm back, then they can do something well. But anyways, from there we went to Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, little promo there. They cut a good promo, and I actually liked how they let Brock say a few things on the mic too. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good segment.
Jinder came out, you know. I hate that they had to bury him, you know, Jinder, because you see how he squashed him, right?
Well, I don't think Jinder looked all that bad. What was impressive were the bumps that the little Sings were taking for him. Look, that's the main event that you got to get over. You can sacrifice Jinder Mahal for a week because no one will remember it ever happened. Right. Anyway,
how do you feel about the whole Shanti? Like, do you think that's just too much? You know, the relax.
No,
you like it?
It's just gimmick.
Yeah, you like it? All right.
I just was waiting for you to poop. It doesn't bother me either way.
There we go. Basically,
if nothing else, people can say Mahal's title reign last year was a failure and whatnot, but at least they've got him over as an acceptable upper mid-carder. That's a good thing. They need as many of those as they can get. The fans, I think, genuinely dislike him.
I totally agree. I mean, I want to see Jinder again. I think he should have stayed on SmackDown. I think that's a guy that could have stayed on SmackDown because I think he's getting lost on Raw. You know, just doing little things like that because he was. I liked him as a champion because he was doing something. He has the partner. He looks good.
You only have so many potential opponents.
Right.
That's another problem with the women's evolution. They don't have enough opponents for these people. If you had the women with their own show, the women could wrestle all the women. Yeah. Then you could replace the men that are lost on Raw and SmackDown with NXT developmental talent, and you'd have a bunch of fresh opponents. How many singles guys are there on Raw? 10 faces and 10 heels? If that's the case, again, you're talking about a very small pool of fresh bodies for both the men and the women to work with.
Right.
Which is why the shows are so repetitive every week. You see the same matches sometimes for weeks and weeks in a row, the same matches that are on the pay-per-views, and it's why there is, again, no must-see television appeal about it, and why the ratings continue to be bad or stagnant.
All I know is thank God for NXT, because there are some good women that are on NXT right now that will be brought up. I mean, Mia Yim's on there. You have Toni Storm, she's good. You know, your Shayna Baszler, who's going to be coming up. You know, there's some good talent that's going to be coming up that's ready. You know what I mean? So
I'm going to say this to be fair to the people that produce the weekly WWE television shows, and I don't think either of us would disagree that NXT is probably the best show more weeks than not. It's the most well thought out one. You're only looking at an hour of a TV show every week. They don't have to produce 2 or even 3.
Right.
So if everyone on NXT was exposed every week, that could grow very stale too.
Right.
So that's the credit you have to give to the WWE writers. They have to produce an awful lot of content, and there aren't enough bodies, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree. I mean,
it'd be like watching the same 2 football teams play.
And that's why NXT, thank God for it. Like I said, just because at least they can get some talent on there so they can come up. You don't have different faces in places.
I continue to think that I don't think would do a rating that Raw or SmackDown does now, but I think an all-women show would be viable at this point. Even if it started off just on the network, if it didn't have a television home, I think it would make the fans that really enjoy the women happy. I think it would make the fans, maybe like me, that don't really enjoy sitting through a good chunk of these women's matches happy. I think it would create more jobs in WWE as a whole, and it would just freshen up the shows more than anything to make it have enough variety where you say, geez, I want to see what happens next week. Geez, I haven't seen Seth Rollins in 2 weeks. I wonder if he's going to be on next week. Imagine if they could do that. For the fans that go live, give them dark matches with all the top superstars to make them happy with their ticket purchase. Yeah, as far as the television audience goes, there's no one that anyone needs to see 52 times a year.
I get you. I know. But did you enjoy Bobby Lashley coming out with his glasses on? Did you like those? The sunglasses. He does the flex now. And then what's with him bending over and showing the crowd his butt? Like, I don't get it. He did it last week.
I don't know enough about bodybuilding to know if that's an actual pose or not.
No, it's not.
Well, you're the one on the gas.
No, I'm not on the gas. Don't listen to him. He's lying. But no, I don't. That's not a pose. I don't understand him just bending over, showing his butt. I do like the glasses kind of. I think it's kind of a cool little gimmick and flexing and stuff. He's showing off his body. He should. He's a beast. He's probably the biggest in WWE.
There is so much wrong with the and I think Bobby Lashley's great, and I think he can be a main eventer as a heel or a babyface. And I think Lio Rush is great because the fans genuinely want to see him get the shit knocked out of him. The problem is the way the timeline of this storyline and angle is gone. It's almost like it's all backwards. Lashley should have started losing matches as a babyface to want to turn heel and all of a sudden have a little sidekick with him to help. Then have him start winning and dominating all the undercard talent to the point where he gets to maybe the upper mid-card and the main eventers, where Leo has to come in and play a physical aspect to help him get those big wins. Yeah. This is just so discombobulated. Again, it's like the 500-piece jigsaw puzzle, not to be confused with our good friends at Watch Your Mouth, the WWE game that would make a great holiday gift. Cheap plug there. It'll also be part of the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. But again, that's what it's like sometimes. You have a great piece here or there, but they don't know how to put the whole puzzle together. And I don't think Lashley is wrestling a style of a heel right now. He comes right now. He's doing poses.
Right.
But is he wrestling any different than he did as a babyface and a heel? No. Well, that's why people haven't clung to him. Leo is a good shit stirrer on the microphone, so I think the heel reaction is more towards him than it is to Bobby. I think the fans still kind of like to see Bobby.
Yeah, I think so. Well, good thing for my boy Elias. He came out and saved the whole segment. The crowd went crazy. I love it because he keeps on getting a bigger and bigger pop every week. And then when he used that line on the cell phone calling child services, oh, my God, the crowd died. I died at home. I thought it was hilarious. He's doing much better. And the match, he didn't lose the crowd again. The crowd was into it. I just hate that. At least he lost the way he lost with just him holding the leg. Lio Rush was holding his leg on the outside of the ring so he couldn't get back into the ring. You seen that?
I saw the match.
Yeah. How did you feel about it? I mean, I thought he did great with the promo and everything.
I think Elias's promo work is good. The fans love to chant along with him. He engages with the fans. He's got that going for him. The problem with Elias is once that bell rings, I know you're going to say the fan reaction was strong, but that's because the Leo package is over right now. I think Elias really lacks the firepower and the fire in his character that a top babyface needs.
Well,
I
mean,
think that's going to be successful unless they change it up.
Well, I'll agree with you that because he's battling the wrong guy. You're not going to have him just 1, 2, 3 over Lashley. It's impossible for him to have the firepower.
I'm not even talking about the finish. I'm talking about his fire in the match.
Right, but since he's been in this character as a face, all he's done is face Lashley. I think if he gets other opponents, he can have that fire. What's he going to do? You can't just beat up Lashley and then go from there. You know what I mean? He can't.
I'm not saying he even had to beat him up. I'm just saying it should have been a more maybe energetic presentation.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I get you. I mean, hey, maybe they're working on it. Maybe they don't want him to do that. I don't know. But, I mean, at least he's got the crowd behind him. That's the main thing right now. Now it's about getting the match over. And I think it's little by little because the crowd was into it from what I've seen on TV.
He's only been on television for, 2 years now?
Hey, but you know what? This is his first time on television. He's doing a good job. You know what? He's a working project, man. NXT, you know?
I think he does a good job, again, with his singing.
I mean,
getting the fans to... I mean, that's a tough thing what he does.
He's one of the only few that are...
People at home don't understand how difficult it is to get the fans with you that much that they're going to chant along.
I'm just saying, there's only a few guys. I don't even know. I mean, Elias is the only guy that has never been on TV other than WWE because he just started in NXT. That's it. But he rushed some indies and that's it. So for him to be on TV and doing what he's doing, I think that's pretty good.
His matches, I think, are going to suffer from the Bobby Roode syndrome.
We'll see.
Once you hit ding, 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 it's...
We'll see. Hopefully they'll get better. But anyways, we end up finishing with Elias versus Bobby Lashley. That was the match. Quick match, like we said. He held his leg. I mean, you know.
We have not seen the end of Elias and Bobby Lashley.
And I think there'll be more to come. Then we had your girl Alexis came out. She cut a little promo. Tells us what the Survivor Series team is going to be. It's going to be Mickey, Naya, Tamina, Natty. And the next match will end up being determined your girl Bayley versus Sasha.
That was a good one.
What did you think of the match? It was a good match.
Teasing that feud for about 2 years.
But what I don't like is then the match.
And then they just give him a match.
Actually, Cole said something that made sense on this one thing. He goes, what was the point of having the match since Tamina and Naya came out and just destroyed both of them and the match didn't even matter? He actually said that. What was the point of having the match?
From the point of view of Alexa Bliss, probably didn't want to have those two characters as part of her team, so she was trying to eliminate them both.
I was just trying to give Cole a little credit, because we always poo-poo on him all the time. So
there's a lot to poo-poo on.
The fifth member is named Ruby Riott, your favorite.
Again, did you really need to have the Riott Squad out twice?
No.
On a TV show
Not
that
on
a lot
that.
of people
No,
don't
not
watch?
them. Right.
Come on.
Yep. And from there, they cut in. I loved it. They showed backstage. Becky had Ronda in the armbar, her version. I thought that was really cool. The camera panned right in, and she's in there. What a visual. And that's when the whole
I think it was a midget that was the camera person. Camera was about 6 inches off the ground.
You can't say that. You can't say that anymore anyways. It's
little
wrong.
person?
Yes.
All right, well.
Be right. Be politically correct, all right? Anyways,
Maybe
then
it
from
was
there,
Leo.
that we started off with what we were talking about on SmackDown Review is that's where it all started. Becky came out and just raised hell. She started beating up everybody. Then the SmackDown crew came out from the crowd. It was awesome. It was a great segment to go off. I loved it. I honestly love that ending for Raw. I know you're going to prove I thought it was fantastic.
Here is why.
And let me just add this, and then you can go from there. And the last part was they showed Steph and Baron on the, commentating, arguing back and forth. How did you let this happen? Then they showed Becky again. So from that whole thing, what's your opinion on it?
The angle itself, stripped naked, I'm not talking about the women, I'm talking about the angle, stripped naked, was good. Here is why they have the problems they have in all these key metrics. You insult the fans' intelligence. Not only just by let's pretend the Corbin and Stephanie thing didn't happen. Let's just pretend it went off the air with Becky in the crowd. Was she holding the belt up or whatever it was she was doing? How would this possibly be an invasion if they knew to play her theme song and have her Titantron go off on the set?
Well, because they showed.
So what that says is no. This isn't an invasion. This is just the regular bullshit that happens on the show. But just in case you were enjoying it enough to not notice that, you have to have Stephanie and Corbin sit there and argue with each other. Geez, how did they get in here? Oh, I don't know. Well, who knew to play the theme music in the Titantron? That's how you lose people. Sometimes it's just the little things.
I mean, I agree with you. I totally agree because me and you were, I think you're thinking too much into it. I think as a fan, you're there. I think they want the pop. Because once the music hits, the pop. I understand I'm not disagreeing with you. I totally agree, but I understand that they want the pop with the music played. But I get what you're saying, that if it's, all believable, making it believable, how would they know? Why would they play music? She should just rain down. I get it. But how many times I would like to go back, they play Stone Cold's music when he came into the building out of nowhere and, just came to the ring. Did they play his music?
I didn't like that either. It
I'm
has
just
nothing
saying.
to do with the
but
gender.
what my point is, they've been doing it forever. It's not like they just started doing it.
And you know what?
But and it worked back then, though. So I don't know. I know it's not working out, whatever. I'm just saying, hey, we'll see. But I do agree with you that in a believable way, they shouldn't have played our music, But it was a great segment, besides that. I thought it was fantastic.
I made a great segment good.
Yeah. And the women finished it off, and it made me excited. I thought it was great. But that's
I was piping hot.
Oh, yeah, you
when
were.
the show went off.
Oh, you were. Yeah, you were. You texted me. You said you had goosebumps. You couldn't sleep.
No, I was extremely annoyed at how they
know.
presented it. If they did that without the music, I would have thought it was very good.
Okay.
But
I thought it was a good Raw, though. I enjoyed it.
Wasn't bad.
A lot of promos, a lot of segments, but
our poll did not reflect our opinions of it.
No.
It was a thumbs down this week on Raw. SmackDown, I think, was 66 or 68% thumbs up.
All right.
So the fans liked Team Blue this week, not the Team Red.
Well,
but what did you like at home? Did
Yes,
you like
leave
Raw
your
this
comments.
week? Did you not? If you do not engage in our great polls, join 50,000 plus of your dearest wrestling friends over at MWF Project X. The YouTube channel continues to grow in subscribers, and we have a lot of fun. Again, we're going to try and make these new segments individual videos, and then for the fans that want one-stop shopping, we'll give them a whole big edited version come the end of it. So right now we're going to take a brief time out. If you're watching the big show, if you're watching the individual segments, we need to remind you, not once but twice, in the month of November, not the month of March. Little Lillian Garcia action going on. But anyway, Saturday, November the 24th, and then Friday, November the 30th, he's back. The Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. You never know what's going to come out of this man's mouth. I have known him 25 years, and I am still blown away sometimes with some of the topics discussed. And don't forget, as far as Tony Atlas goes, yes, you can join us live in studio with free admission on Saturday, November the 24th and Friday, November the 30th. But we have not one but two big episodes of Memories and Legends for Survivor Series and NXT TakeOver Weekend. The first, we discussed Tony's career after he left WWF in 1986 through 1989, all the trials and tribulations he faced going from a company where he was making good money to world class as it was going out of business, witnessing his friend's murder in Bruiser Brody in Puerto Rico, having Vince McMahon stomp the life out of ICW before the company could really get going, to the point where the man had no place to live. Then in the second episode, again, we're joined by the esteemed Dr. David Reese to talk about what it was like for Tony Atlas, a man that was known around the world from WWF, to become a homeless man that lived under a park bench in Maine. It is a fascinating story. I learned some things I didn't know about the story, crimes that are involved, drugs that are involved. It's a really interesting story. And again, with it being almost Thanksgiving, maybe you'll feel a little thankful that you weren't Tony. The only thing I could think of was maybe when he lived under the park bench, he enjoyed seeing the women walk by and getting a good shot of the shoes. You think that had anything to do with it?
Maybe from the past videos that I've seen, he probably
It's a
really
possibility.
did. Definitely.
And then, fans, one more thing before we go in this great segment. Thanksgiving night, it used to be a great tradition with Survivor Series here in the MWF. For us, it's the kickoff to this year's 7th annual Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. We're joined by Bruce Pritchard, the host of Something to Wrestle With, Oscar from Men on a Mission, plus some great cameos by Jim Ross, Mick Foley, $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. How about a guy that's going to war Saturday night in Los Angeles, Paul Bearer and my good friend Warbeard Hanson. It's going to be great. So tune in Thanksgiving night, help the kids out, get some great merchandise, and all that jazz. For Dave Carter, I'm Dan Marotti. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well. Swipe right. I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
Let us tell you how the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation can help raise cash for your nonprofit cause. Experience the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation live in your city, throughout New England, the tri-state area, down through the Carolinas, out to our friends in the Midwest and beyond.
If your nonprofit organization is looking for an interactive turnkey experience while putting enough fun into fundraising, you've met the perfect tag team partner to work with. every step of the way.
The MWF offers a variety of packages for groups of almost any size, from our live events at the Boston Garden, the Kowloon Entertainment Dining Complex, and the legendary Suffolk Downs, to high school gyms and function halls. We've presented live events everywhere and anywhere.
Since 2001, the MWF's mission has been simple: keep the kids off the streets. Under the leadership of President David Reese, we bring the superstars of yesterday, today, and tomorrow to your town. Not for a wrestling show, but an event that features action-packed in-ring wrestling, autograph, pose photo opportunities, Q&A sessions, and so much more. It's the best of sports and entertainment. The week of your event, we can add on to the endeavor with anti-bullying campaigns, library meet and greet reads, youth sport concussion seminars, and more.
Our live events are fit for fans of any age from 5 to 95. This fall is part of our new Kids Club program. We offer live event experiences exclusively for the youngest of fans. On the flip side, we can produce a tailor-made event for fans of an older demographic as well. We work with you every step of the way to get the word out to fans near and far on our local television offerings and to over 50,000 fans and growing on our social media platforms.
Your success is our success. If your group has had enough of candy bar and wrapping paper sales and has the energy to team with our passionate fan base, bringing the NWF experience to your community is the answer to put smiles on faces while raising cash for your cause.
Contact us today to get the ball rolling for your custom-made event that you'll want to bring back year after year to your community.
Don't just take it from us. Here are the folks we've teamed up with in the past.